Hello, folks. Welcome back for an episode of Schwaard's Follies. And we are jumping into a deck created by Banana Schwaaard. Everybody seemed to be playing Guildsworn the other day. I mean, not the last video, but before that, I just kept saying, oh, there's a lot of Guildsworn. And I think we need more non-invade Guildsworn on the ladder. So this just looked at something fun. I mean, there were some other decks that people have given me that I would like to play. Like A-Ross has given me a few, but I looked at them and I'm like, I need big brain to play this. And I'm not calling myself stupid, but in order to the same thing like Inu gave me a Unite deck. But you know me, I'm not necessarily of that disposition. I mean, I would love to be able to Unite, and I think I have in fact done it at least a couple times. But in general, my preference is a little more back and forth and try to close the game out, not waiting for a specific win condition to manifest itself. So with that in mind, I thought it would be disingenuous to be like, oh, hey, we're going to unite the houses and then play 20 games where either we just lose or we don't unite the houses. All right, so that's a prophecy, so we don't want to necessarily mess with that. I need to get him in premium. He's such a versatile card, the old Rift Thane. Oh, speaking of, do I even want to say hello? Fine. Okay, there we go. I am a little embarrassed. That was a conditional hello. I was waiting for the tired old Alduin Midnight Burial. So when that did not happen, I felt pretty good about it. All right.
Kill them all.
Yes. Kill them all. You very adamant guy. He's about to get impaled by a bunch of spears. Have we noticed that this is not going to go well for him? His arm's flailing out. And is he bringing him back? He is. All right, nice shiny premium gray fox. Not having the ring is hurting him here.
Death to the enemy.
For sure.
You won't foil my plan.
And we may just be able to rush him back. I think he just had a really slow draw. I'm not sure if it's a greedy scout deck or if it's just a bad draw, because you can have those too. I mean, obviously he's not trying to go for the high value stuff necessarily. The thing is, I haven't lost anything yet. There's nothing I think it has to be in the graveyard in order for him to get any value out of it. So I don't know that he's gonna. Okay, so he's gonna do some stuff. Let us.
Death to the enemy.
We'll go ahead and do that. Put her down there. Not that it's a big deal. But we just want to get that 4/3 body on the board. And like I said, luckily we don't have anything in our discard yet, so I don't think Gray Fox is going to be beneficial, other than a 5/5 body. The word walls are getting a little nerve-wracking, though, because if we come up on turn 8 and we haven't gotten through, we might even javelin that, to be honest. Because if we can't get through by turn 8, I think we're going to get a very high-leveled Call Dragon bit of nonsense. Okay, so maybe... Well, I would say Skaven is the call, but I have to make room for him. Is our opponent he's gonna curse? Is that gonna let it? Okay, unfortunately, that actually makes Skaven not so bueno. I think. I mean, I know that looks greedy. I know how it looks, and you know what? Well, because it's gonna give him a well, it doesn't matter. He's gonna get a curse either way. We don't want to waste our card draw on in the rapid shot.
Yours is mine. Behold my power.
You won't foil my plan.
All right, so we're one turn off of Call Dragon. He's got a curse. He might have been leveling up. What do you call those? The
Just forget about C.
Oh, now he can get a Rift Thane with a guard or a javelin. Rift Thane. He couldn't have played the javelin. All right, so we just need to push 4 damage. So yeah. Oh, nope, he's not gonna, he's gonna be a bit of, okay, that's fine.
This was a worthy contest.
Behold my power. Yours is mine.
You won't foil my
All right, so we were able to close it out quickly with Banana Schwaab's Guildsworn deck. And did you notice that? There is no name. That was creepy. I noticed it at first, but I thought it was just a graphical glitch at the outset and I wasn't paying attention. And then I just looked, I mean, that's that's some freaky stuff right there. Did I just defeat a ghost? Did I make said ghost angry? Said ghost. Wow. Yeah, no, that's I don't want to beat that joke to death, but I mean, it was kind of creepy, right? I mean, anybody else seen that? I'm sure they have. I mean, I'm sure it's not all that uncommon, but it's the first time I've seen it, so it's relatively uncommon, meaning relative to me. All right. I mean, the great thing about, these kind of decks, like, they just feel good to play because when they're well put together, sure, Hefe, we can play that. The problem is when I play folks, I just don't know what to play. Like, are you trying to test something out, or do you just want to do things? I don't really know.
Luck to your house.
Fivefold veneration.
We're not going to ring out Wardcrafter just because we don't have another card to play at the moment. Okay, now we have a card to play. We may just ring out Lightning Bolt next turn.
Watch yourself now.
Depending on what he does to handle this. If he puts another one down there. I mean, so this is obviously hyper aggro Halalu. And we'll see how well this does. I mean, again, having that Lightning Bolt is fantastic.
We must remain steadfast.
It is now less fantastic. Let's see. That's a 5 cost. It'll do 4 damage. I'll tell you what, since we're not going to be able to play anything else, Channeled Storm. Well, shoot, I should have hit that because then Channeled Storm would have done good work. But wait. Oh, we did draw. We drew an Unstoppable Rage. Nice. All right, so of course he's going to trade into here.
I'll try to draw their fire.
Doesn't need to trade. All right, so everything is going great for. I mean, oh, hey, okay. I'm eating my words.
Citizen.
That actually is going very well for me. All right, and if I had taken that, I could have cleared up my actions for some good times, but... So yeah, we got very lucky there. That might have swung the game in our favor. Maggie22, top 10 player. That's not going to be enough to win us the game. But the way things were going up until that prophecy, it looked like we were going to steamroll. Which is not uncommon, unfortunately. Oof. All right. That may need a Lightning Bolt.
Behold my power. I want to be an assassin.
Ooh,
like
boy. Well, well, if we do a Lightning Bolt, I mean, it does free up our... Or we can ring out these two. I don't want to put that over there. That does trade in, unless he's got another Cloud Rest. So I don't want to take 7 damage to the face next turn. But that's 11, 13. That's going to put us in a really tough spot if I play Monastic Champion. I mean, we can't play Channel Storm. Let's just do that. Like I said, that frees up. I mean, unless he's got another one that does free us up, take 7 points of damage off the board. We can throw down 2 guards next turn. But of course, our opponent has cards to play, so we're going to have to change up our strategy a little bit, probably, once it gets going. Not feeling particularly secure in our standing at the moment, but you don't necessarily want that either. I always bemoan the lopsided game, one way or the other. I don't like getting run over, and I don't like running over people. This way, I feel like I'm engaging with my opponent, and if I win, I, to some degree, earned it just by being able to give a good showing. All right, Spoils of War. That's not great. That's horrible, especially if he can play a card, and he can. Ay vey. Ay vey. All right, so I am... I'm going to play this over here. And play this over here.
We'll see how they like someone who fights.
We'll see. I think that's 2 Shadow Shifts. Yep. So hopefully it doesn't have a third one that's going to change up our trading situation. Okay, man, he's got draw for years. Draw for years. That's the worst. If you're playing a hyper-aggressive deck, is not being able to start him out of cards. He actually has more cards than I do right now. And a bigger board. Not that I'm comparing, have a bigger board, that's fine.
Business with House Halal.
Okay. X Factor here. Always fun. Good old RNG. I really wish there was a way to develop a game like this that actually required more like a chess approach, where it's more strategic. And not that these aren't strategic, obviously. Like, and I mean, and it's like my friend told me with poker, and he had a. Interesting. Okay, that went the way I was hoping.
If you want to talk business, you've come to the
right
place.
Let's see. I mean, again, that's a pretty good sized board. What we're gonna do though, Bruma.
There's always a plan.
To monastic champion, and hopefully our hive defender can hold us off for a little while longer. We do have a lightning bolt we can use next turn on the 5/5, which has given us pretty sizable body to work against. And the great thing is, if our opponent does go heavy into the field shadow lane, we do have our unstoppable rage next turn. But I have a feeling our opponent knows this, smells something awry, and is, going to play everything in the shadow lane, or field lane. And he does, every single card in the shadow lane. But, I mean, that's just smart playing. You can't begrudge him that. And that's going to pretty much close out the game for us, unfortunately. We don't have enough to play Ravenous Hunger and Unstoppable Rage. We can play that next turn if we can survive. But we're never going to survive unless we are a little crazy. We don't have... I mean, we got 4... If we take that out, that takes 2 damage off. We take that out, it takes 4 damage off. I really don't know. We would... Oh, wait. Can we ping? Nothing. I was going to say, if we can ping something with a Rapid Shot, that'd be great. We cannot. So we are going to... hopefully... figure something out here. I think Ravenous Hunger and Lightning Bolt. They can do 6 with these 2 guys. If we kill one of them, that takes 3, 4, 5 off the board. All right, so let's do this and force our opponent to acknowledge that. So, yeah. All right, now we just have to do...
Patience for fools.
All right. He needs 4 damage from hand. Cliff Racers, Tazcad. I mean, he's got the gambit. I feel nervous, but if he doesn't have it, he's got to trade with our 4/1 or suffer the wrath of Unstoppable Rage. Or suffer the rage of Unstoppable Rage. Suffer. Suffer and die. I mean, we finally got him down to 3 cards, and hopefully none of those have the answer, but my hopes aren't high. I am not holding my breath. And he is looking for answers, but that ain't fun. Now get in the pit and try to love someone. Okay, so that will take out our 4/1. It's got 5, 6, 7. That's not. Is that enough?
A little distraction might please you.
Did it? Nope, not yet. Oh, but he's gonna take out the 4/1. He has to. Oh no, he's got it. Jeez, what a moron I am. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. I guess we'll give it. Okay, I was gonna give it GG because it was a well-fought game, but yeah, that was. Well, that wasn't Gateway. I was gonna say it felt like a Gateway game. Well, no, it didn't. No, Gateway games are typically very one-sided. That felt okay. I mean, it felt like we were constantly being worn down. Like we had that one prophecy that helped us kind of a little bit, but I'll tell you what, I mean, those Mournhold traders, there's a reason why. I believe it was Ian. No, Ian uses the little beetle. Whose favorite card is the trader? I'm so sorry. I apologize. We covered this. I'm trying to remember whose it is. But anyway, I mean, if you have him that early in the game, it can be very difficult unless you've got a good answer. If he didn't have the Withered Hand Cultist, we had the answer. But yeah, Mournhold into Witherhand, boy, that's a tough deal. Not insurmountable, but it does set you up for some hard times. Like you're on an uphill battle, and clock is work. My prowess precedes me. My skills. I body bag. I think you've got some competition. I mean that is the concede king right there. Now, obviously that can happen for any number of reasons. As we all know in our normal lives, we concede if Well, so I typically play on tablet, and my tablet can go everywhere. Some people like have a thing they don't want to take it certain places, like, well, boy, this is, well, you know what? Let's just be honest. I mean, it doesn't change the truth. Like, I'll take it in the bathroom. You know, I Windex it and do all the good stuff every so often with it. So, I mean, I keep it clean, and I'm not exactly like, you know, just doing nasty. I don't quite understand. I mean, public restrooms, maybe, but I'm like, what are you doing in the bathroom that is you're getting you so dirty and getting your stuff so dirty? Like, you're not supposed to be interacting with, you know, a lot of stuff in the bathroom.
Luck to your house.
I don't. Maybe I don't do as much. So we do have reasons to ring, and if this is another aggro halalu, we're gonna want a field lane or a board to start doing some stuff. So we'll see how well this goes. Up against Liketh.
I'll profit from your death.
Let's see. We don't want to deploy our Golden Initiate yet because we don't want to be drawing or we don't want to be draining for health before we get some cards. So we'll wait for... Alright, so this is Token Crusaders. Well, Token Halalu, obviously, I guess is the better way to put that. Alright. We may have come to the right place, but... here's the thing. I was going to play Lightning Bolt, but let's delay that for a second. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of this. And depending on what our opponent does, obviously Lightning Bolt may be the play next turn.
I'll take them with me.
Like I said, draining for a ton of health is not all that helpful at the moment. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that will have to be Lightning Bolted. So we will... Boinkity, boinkity, boinkity.
Profit from your death.
Feels good to play a Lightning Bolt after having it stymied in our hand for years and years. Unfortunately, Golden Initiate looks like the logical... Hey, speaking of which, boy, this must be Tawaka Day or some nonsense. And of course, we just have nothing but actions here. Isn't that great? Well, tell you what. Well, that'd be good for next turn. Like I said, I don't care too much about the heals at the moment. So let's go do that. I didn't want him to trade. He's going to trade with us anyway. I wanted to get this guy out of the lane just in case he's got some, you know, he's going to throw a Dawnbreaker on it or something. Don't think I've seen that before. A Dawnbreaker on the marked man. I mean, he is a coward. I mean, we all know this. Oh no, the douche gets some value. All right, well, that makes me less happy than I was moments ago. Here's the thing. I mean, do I want to keep protecting my face or do I want to get some cards? I think it's stupid against what is obviously a token, what seems to be a I mean, with the douche and stuff, you start to think it may be mid-range, like mid-grow Halalu. So, you know, he's looking to shift into high gear at the right moment, and I mean that would definitely qualify.
They're in my sights.
So unfortunately, we don't really have a great audience. Great. Oh, there's a good answer. All right, so let's do this. Oh, Unstoppable Rage. I played right into it. Played right again. But I mean, what do you do? If he's got it, we're screwed. Pretty bad. If he doesn't, we're not quite as screwed as bad.
A little distraction.
Okay, that's not great, obviously. That allows free trades. That's actually really crappy.
We'll rebuild Skyrim into the land she wants.
So, Rage on Harpy, does that get us anywhere? Not really. It almost would if it would kill this. If we could have done 1 damage to this, then I would have gladly done that. But
we'll never give ground.
Speak, citizen.
Again, playing into Rage, but I mean, we got to contest the lane. You got to contest the lane. So, or I feel like I have to, I should say. And what has he got? Another one. My goodness gracious. You got to love the reliability in 3 attribute decks. What's the downside again? I mean, if he ignores our Oreo cookie gal, then we get, which he doesn't do. Okay, that is very, very helpful. We can rage and clear that lane out, so we're just going to do this. That is foreshadowing. He probably knows that I've got the rage now. He's got to know it. He's got to know. If he trades, he knows it, and he does. Yep. I mean, that's a good call.
Hardly a
So we're just going to concede next turn. Unless we get which. Oh no, wait. We can do both.
We'll see how they like someone who fights back.
So he saw it coming, but luckily we did have a 2-drop to play. We're still going to take 6-7 damage. He's going to be drawing cards. So once again, Aggro Halalu is going to get the best of us, it looks like. I don't think we're going to come back from this. Nothing terribly useful at the moment. All the cards, yeah, this is one of those days that you just go, okay, I'll come back later, is typically what I would do. But of course, that would make for a very short video. So we're going to keep going. We will forage ahead, if nothing else, just for the... And, I mean, he's going to be able to start doing damage to face just by killing those guys off. And there's the Mournhold Trader. So we're just going to end the misery. We'll just pass the turn. We're not going to make a pretense of it. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's... Yeah, yeah, there we go. Just go ahead and finish off. That's not overplaying. I mean, you need to sack the board. You never know. Does he have rage? You know, you've got to play everything. But I don't think he needed to do that. But whatever. You got it done quick. So there we go. Another impotent effort on our part. Don't know if I could have done anything better, but we are just getting... It's the same cards we're getting screwed by. I think the last game also I saw at least 2 Cloud Rest Illusionists. And again, in a 3-attribute deck, that's where it feels bad. I mean... If you get the win, you don't care. But when you don't get the win, that's when you start looking at it and going, okay, what things weren't particularly kosher about this? And for me, that's I shouldn't say a lot of the time. Sometimes, like in that case, the past 2 games, the amount of you get when you have anybody be able to play 2 or 3 of within turn 8, you're like, the whole downside, or one of the downsides of a 3-attribute deck is it's supposed to be harder to find what you need. Like you have a broader pool to grab from. You've got a much more diverse range of cards, but you don't have consistency. So if you're drawing consistently, what's the downside?
Luck to your house.
And in theory, anybody can do it. It just so happens we had back-to-back games where, or was it back-to-back? Yeah, I think it was back-to-back, where our Halalu aggro opponent had that consistency. Once again, nothing to play on the next turn, so we're not going to mess with it. I mean, we could have wrung out a Channeled Storm, but... And now we got to shift gears a little, because this is probably...
Preparations have been made.
Probably a control deck, which we haven't really come across yet. We've been just coming up against heavy aggro. Do we have it? Oh, there's our Cloud Rest. So there she comes. We'll see if we draw like 3 of her.
I have no patience for fools.
Okay. She does look nice in a premium. Those little circles, all glowy and whatnot.
I will keep Sothasil's people alive.
Screw you, Galen. Screw you. Keeping people alive. What kind of turd muffinery is that?
My power.
I mean, do we just channel the storm? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Now, see, I as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about like when we see high-level players play, like A-Ross, whatever, when they do a turn, when they're like on a turn like that, he might have just held on to that. A lot of players are holding on to resources for more opportune moments, and those almost always come up, 5 turns down the road. So I do realize that's another thing I'm trying to be mindful of. Like, all right, that's what I was expecting that, hoping that we'd have a chance to play our Stormcloak Vanguard there. All right, and we're going to start playing around Dawn's Wrath and Immolating Blast. Because with a control deck like this, that is a thing. All right. Probably not something our opponent's thrilled about. Okay, so we can Tharn. So if we Tharn, she can trade. But again, I think this is control. I don't think we want to be...
Hardly a
I don't think we want to be trading. I don't think it's going to go well for us. And I just made a stupid mistake there. I should have played this first. So we'll see what we get. Hopefully it wasn't something that was infinitely better than what I played. It was not. Cradle Crush will be good in the lane next turn if he makes a trade, which he does. There's control.
The hist shall heal you.
Wow. Okay. So, and once again, we've got consistency with Galeen doing his thing.
I slay the unworthy.
Would this be a better... Would it be better to Cradle Crush here? Or here? I mean, yeah, we're just going to do it here. I mean, if he wants to go face with that, he's more than welcome
What's
to.
yours is mine.
Tier and Unstoppable Rage. That's turn 12. That could be a nice play on turn 12 if we can keep our stuff that long. Again, our opponent with all the removal in the world, so we are probably not going to have anything stick for a long time. And there we go, starting to get. Or now we're getting all the ugly stuff. So our face is being slapped by this fellow here. Not a good time. I mean, it's not intentional. It's not willful. It's just.
I will push them back.
It's just what happens when you play against control. This is the kind of thing you go up against, and we haven't been able to make enough progress on the face to feel like we're really close. If we can't, oh, and he's already ramped up to 12, so that sucks. And he's putting really big bodies down. So I may just do a concede efficiency here because I have a feeling it's just going to be. I mean, those are great Unstoppable Rage target, or that would be if he did more of them. But we are definitely not going to. We're not going to play tier without Unstoppable Rage. And if he hits us with another Death Priest, or he revives that in any way, then. See, right now we wouldn't be getting all that much value out of it. So we're just going to keep holding off. Okay, there we go. That works. You could argue and say that I should have waited a turn, but at what point do you look at your opponent's board and go, okay, all he has to do is smash me in the face with everything he's got, and we're down to like less than half health. So he's going to bring back Parthenax. And I sigh heavily. But hey, combo is old as time. Combo. Let's not call that combo. Nick Talks is a combo. A lot of stuff that A-Ross and folks like him do is a combo. That's not a combination. That is playing two cards. I just don't know if I want to keep going. Like I said, all his bodies are too big. Like we're not going to win this on rage is my point. And I don't think we have any other way to make this happen. And we're not drawing Jack Diddley Squit.
Careful there, friend.
We could have executed this. Probably should, just because there's very few executable targets at this point. Oh, do we keep going? That's the question. Like, it's not even so much I don't know that I can win. I think there's still a chance. I think it's a low chance, but I think there's a chance. It's do I enjoy how this game is? Do I enjoy this game enough? Do I enjoy playing against control enough? You know what? We're just going to do it just for fun. Oh, you know what? Let's shut down the Magicka.
We must protect the Night Mother.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And the biggest moronic play of the game goes to Schwaaard, who, in his zeal to...
Repel the Outlanders.
I don't know what that was about.
Hist revives.
I mean, yeah, it's just... Okay, there we go. All right, that's a little something. Unfortunately, Crusaders... Oh, there we go. All right, let's pair these up then, huh? Why not? Push a little bit of damage. Draw some cards. I mean, these are low-hanging fruit there, but we've got another one. If he wants to fill a lane, we can do another rage on tier, which would be kind of fun. Third Fire Breath. Okay. Okay. Not worth doing it on tier at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and play. Let's see this.
Stands ever ready.
This.
The fighter's will stands ever ready.
And I don't want to shackle anything because... Did I get rid of my execute? Did I play that? I'm trying. Oh, I did. I had to use it because I did a dumb thing. Okay. Okay. Answers for it all. You know, oh, crapola. So, and yeah, that's going to pretty much do it. I mean, we can... Yeah, you know what we're going to do? We're going to... If we can, this is going to be a sweet little sweet roll deal here. So... Unfortunately, we can't do exactly what we want. But I do like a sweet roll. And Night Town Lord is now banished into the Oblivion. I think our opponent's going to be going face now, realizing... Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, you know what? I am tired of this. So we are going to just concede. Because, I mean, we're just circling the drain at this point. This episode is sponsored in small part by Legendary Remnant Discord. If you want to talk about all things TESL, if you want to commiserate as we would like to because of just not a fun day, or like to celebrate your victory, whether it be Gauntlet or the ladder, wherever it is, wherever your victories and triumphs can be found, or if you want to create cool, nifty custom cards like you're going to see an example of in the next second here, go to Legendary Remnant Discord. Link is always in the description. It should be updated, hopefully. Thank you again to, I can't remember your name, but you for letting me know that the link had expired, even though I told it not to expire, or for infinity not to expire. Anyway, the primary sponsor of this game is Battle Fury, an intelligent action brought to you by Beaterus. So this is a 2-cost Battle Fury. Not the most impressive looking weapon. I mean, the sword itself doesn't look too bad. The art maybe not necessarily the most compelling, but you know what? We understand the spirit of the card. Sometimes we see cards that have amazing art and you're like, whoa, holy cow, you know, where'd you get that? And it usually has a credit for somebody's name on there. This one looks a little more generic, but I mean, it's got a glowy green thing in it. So I mean, it's a kryptonite sword, so that's good. Anyway, this is a shout, as these all have been. And first level, give each ally item +1 and 0. The second level, brace yourselves, +2 and 0. And the final one is +3 and 0. I like this on principle just because, like I said in the previous video, I'm a big fan of weaponry and weapons. And I like and this is in Battle Mage colors. And so it has a good synergy there. My only beef with it, I mean, it is cheap, inexpensive. We don't want to say cheap. It's inexpensive, which is, I think, very good, because the likelihood, unless this would pair very well with Corsair Ship, but without Corsair Ship, unless you've got a decent board, unless you've got, I mean, because in theory, I mean, if you've got 6 items on one character, all those weapons get that +1, +2, and +3. So in theory, it could just be one character, but the idea, I mean, you can't, even in a weapon deck, you cannot run a crap ton of weapons, maybe 20 in a 75 card deck at the most. You really need to balance it out. Well, maybe a little more on a 75 card deck, but like in a 50 card deck, you can't have half your deck be weapons because you're going to draw those en masse and get completely hosed. So you've got to be very litigious about how many items you have. And while that can be a nice boost, I mean, it's, like I said, it's a 2-cost. So it's essentially, with the first one, as Beaterus has done very well in the past, making that first one a little understated. So you're paying 2 for 1 when you can pay 1 to get a Steel Scimitar. So you're paying 1 for 2. This next one, 2 for 2, it's about even. Again, it's a little, maybe I dare say we go down to either, I would say maybe make it a 1-cost, which would be, I think, the first 1-cost shot we have, or maybe give it an extra 1 to each of the levels, because your second one should be about break even, and we've got Steel Scimitars, we've got Dagoth Daggers, we got a lot of stuff that only costs 1 and gives you at least 2 damage. So it feels a little bad to not really break even with it, where you're I mean, 2/2 in general, a 2 for 2 isn't the worst, but I think for weapons, it is not great. So I would say it's a little overcosted or understated. Undercosted sounds like a ridiculous thing to say, because 2 is about as cheap as you can get, other than 1 or 0. The more you know. But I do think something may need to be tweaked to give it a little more value. Obviously, on the third shout, you are getting that +3. But remember, you're having to draw all 3 of them to get that +3. So this is something. I mean, it's true with all shouts, but I mean, this is something where you're going, okay, not really good value at 1, not breaking even at 2, and on the third one, finally, you get some value out of it. And you can argue, as my brain just did, that you're giving that to every single weapon, so it may not be 1 for 1. It may actually be 2 or 3 or 4 plus damage, even on the first shout. If you're playing a weapon-heavy deck, all right. So So I have to take back what I just said. The potential for this is high. The problem, as I said, though, is how many items are you ever going to have in play at the same time? There are some heavy weapon decks that may be running that, but not a ton. However, I do think, as I realize that, okay, you could have that 2 cost could actually buff up to 4. You just never know. You have a +4 buff if you've got a big enough board, or you're playing the Corsair ship thing. I mean, there's a lot of ways to make this card work. So I'm very much a fan for several reasons. But as I just retreaded there, I think well statted for what it can do. You might even say now, I'm going to flip to the other side, that it's a little overstated. But again, we're talking about potential versus kinetic. I mean, so on its face, it's actually undervalued. It needs a little bit of a buff. But what it can do in the right circumstance, and that begs the question: how do you build cards? Do you build them on what they can theoretically do, or do you stat them as what they can theoretically do if they have the right pieces in play? As somebody who's tried many different, now granted you can say they're just poorly constructed, but several different decks that were trying to do a thing, and I was never able to draw those elements I needed to do the thing, you could say that trying to base the value of a card off of potential stuff is really not all that great as a strategy, but you can't ignore that either. I think this one, the upside is not, so we're not talking like a OTK necessarily. I mean, in theory, I guess if you have an entire full lane and every creature has a weapon, then you can do 24 points of extra damage with a 2 cost card. But how many times are you going to have that set up? My opponents seem to be very, very keen on getting rid of anything with an item on it, and I would be too. So I don't know. Yeah, I think this is just a question of potential versus stated effect. And I'm not really sure what the answer is to that, but that is what my thoughts are on it. Beaters, thank you so much for giving us something to chew on. Thank you for giving us this plethora of shouts, much more than I believe actually exist in Skyrim. So hoorah. And now let's get you back to the games. I think I saw a Marak in here. So we do have high-end cards. Excuse me, but I don't seem to be drawing any of them. We're not drawing anything bigger than a 5-drop at this point. Aren, she would have been nice at some point. Okay. All right, so Monkey House 77.
Look to your house.
Phalanx Exemplar. We're drawing a ton of him, and he's okay, but he's been screwed by Cloud Rest. He's been screwed by Mummify. He's just, every time he hits the board, he just gets neutered. Hey, I just realized. You know what? I don't know what our opponent's running yet, but let's go ahead and just draw right now. We're under no pressure. Harpy, again, with the low cards. I mean, you want them early in the game, but it's like you want to start building towards that mid game, and I just keep drawing. Oh dear. If he starts building up their health, then we're going to definitely not be getting a lot of value out of our rage. Hopefully Monkey House is not going to use Workshop as a crutch. But at this point, I think the rule is assume the absolute worst.
What's yours is mine.
Do we play the Rift Thane now? Yeah, I mean, turn 12 or turn 10 is a long way off. Okay. Kind of reluctant to give our opponent a card here, but you know what? We're gonna. Oh, I should have traded. That was dumb. That was a dumb thing for me to do. Gonna hold on to the monastic champion. 2 guards. This is not what but neither one of them do very well with this. If we do monastic champion, I really should have played Cloud Rest. That was the play. I screwed it up. We'll just throw him over here. Yeah, that was a big misplay on my part. That was the clear smart choice, and I just botched it. Because we want to save our breakthrough. Since we have Rage in our hand, we want to save our breakthrough for turn 7. Now, granted, as we saw from our top 10 player, they can sniff that kind of thing out. I would admit.
We must protect our stronghold.
Yeah, but you're not gonna. You know why? Because monastic champion is going to monasticize. Oh crap! Hang on a second. I just realized that's probably a word, and I don't know what it means, but it sounds pretty dirty. So.
I'll try to draw their fire.
So this was a nice turn. Having the exact magic we needed to do what we wanted to do. So things were actually looking a little better for us. Now I know what it feels like to be the opponent for the past 3 games.
I only need 1 shot.
Kinda, sorta, not really. Never got to hit face, poor guy.
Hardly a chance.
And now we have to be wary of. Well, we know Rage can come up, but I'm worried about Archer's Gambit. Take out 2 targets, but I was also worried about Rage. See, using my brain, and we're probably got a Leaf Lurker. Okay. Well. Okay. Ooh, that's a great pull there. Great pull. So, I mean, as long as Monkey House cannot throw down a bunch of guards next turn, we got Aspect for the win. Okay. So that is good game. Is it bad to say good game now? Do I wait for the start of my turn, right? Oops.
This was a worthy contest.
And there we go. Love my Aspect of Racine. Charge, confirm, and go. All right. So very lucky. We don't. I mean, again, we haven't seen any of those high-end cards in a while. That would have definitely been helpful 2 games ago. But we managed to buy a victory. We're 1 game away from being where we were at the start of the day. That always feels good. He says sardonically. Sardonically or sarcastically? I think they've been used interchangeably, and I think they could be used interchangeably, but I'm not sure. I mean, sarcastic. I mean, I know there's a difference. It's just trying to explain it to my brain. Sardonic. Like, I think there's like a. Well, no, they're both kind of like edgy / like they're yeah. Let's see, sarcastic, sardonic. I don't think sardonic necessarily is. Like sarcasm kind of conveys the opposite. Like, oh, you're so smart. Sarcasm can be a kind of a. It's communicating the opposite. It's kind of like a low key lie. If who you're talking to has any wherewithal, they're going to pick up on the subtext. I think sardonic is just kind of like got a bitter edge to it. Like you're not, you're more. It's just kind of like a. You're not necessarily saying the opposite of what you mean. You're just laying it on pretty thick. You're like,
Hail, friend.
Did I say hello? I think I did, right? I did. I think. Shoot, I hate to say it. I apologize, Nerafin. Just in case I didn't say it, I want to say it now.
Hail, friend.
There we go. Okay. We are going to throw our Rift Thane over here.
I will push them back.
So, I guess it's not Nerafin. It would be Narafin? Shadow marking. Fascinating. Okay. I think. Oh gosh.
To oblivion with you.
Are you
Hail,
invade?
friend.
Gee, golly day. I hope not.
By by the fires of oblivion.
But, I mean, why would he have unexpected arrival if he wasn't? But I know Aros does play, Aros and some other folks play invade cards that are not invade decks. They just are using the mechanic to do something, spit out a gate, you know, creature in another lane with transitive shrine, whatever it's called.
Prepare yourself.
Oh, I will prepare myself,
I will
young lady.
you.
By,
Schwaaard take you.
well, that puts me to force. Well, but I don't want to hit face if he can heal. So we're going to do that.
The rift.
And we'll do this.
Arcade's beard, stay back.
I mean, that's not a hard and fast rule, folks, but it is something that I think if you're going to give your opponent a card, don't let them get their health back. You know? This is based on, yeah, I'm never going to be able to get better than higher than a 1 cost. It's almost, well, it's not as bad as the, what was that called? The, essentially, okay, is this a, well, no, you know what? Gavel should work out, right? I mean, it's the only thing we can play, which sucks, but
Schwaaard take to oblivion.
she is protected. Oh.
Speak.
So again, we're going to let our opponent give us a card if he wants to, and then we can heal for 3, provided it doesn't nuke us out of orbit with a nuclear card that doesn't exist in this
Holding on to
particular
anything
universe.
interesting?
Hey, none of this taking my stuffs. You're lucky I don't know this deck inside and out, and we have 2 overlapping colors, but if you play an awesome red card in the next 5 turns, I'm going to be very perturbed. All right, so he's got the same thing. He is not interested in giving us... All right, so Defensive Bruma gives us +1/+1. That allows some of our stuff to survive. Let's just go ahead and do it, I guess. I'm concerned about an Ice Storm, but
Garland pox.
she doesn't survive anyway.
Eater.
Oreo Cookie survives.
Oblivion.
So we're not looking good after an Ice Storm, but we're still alive.
Taste of Lord Dagon's power.
There is that Ice Storm. You know, I know it's not the greatest value. Oh, you know what? We may be regretting that decision
Oreo.
in the future. If we Crusader Assault there. Okay, well, there are worse cards we could have gotten. Maybe. I mean, they're invade, so they can't be all that great. There she goes. We just need to do... So actually...
Speak.
dang it. All right, so it might be... Yeah, it's going to be Crusader's Assault and then Javelin to give us, hopefully, the win next turn. Unless that's an Oreo Cookie Gal. For crying out loud. Jeez Louise. Oh, boy. All right, so now we're still off aspects. We need a little more love from our aspects. She's gonna drain for 3.
Eater. Oreo.
Yeah, and doesn't have to hit face either. So Belly G is
Fly like the wind.
probably gonna be.
Protect me.
All right, let's do this first.
They will perish in
Oh,
flames.
dag nabbit. I mean, she can trade with... No, we don't want her to survive for another turn if we can help it. Oh, man, that was so... We were 1 prophecy away from closing that out. Dag nabbit. Come on, let's finish strong here. I've got 1 more A than you do, Narafin. And that A is going to be the
May
difference.
the ancestors bless us.
Oh, what are you getting? Not Ice Storm. Oh, okay. I mean, not that it's the worst thing in the world, but as long as she dies. All right, so he's back up to 11. We can punt Belly G, but if we do, it's going to give him another free action. So that's not great. But we can actually Grey Viper and Belly G, which is kind of nice. I can't remember. I think. Nope, we haven't played one yet. I was gonna say I think we may have. All right. So the good news is not. Oops. Yeah, we'll get you out of here. I mean, you could get another. He could pull back a lightning bolt with her. In fact, that seems to be what this game is tracking in terms of. The individual games have their own personality. This one's kind of sardonic. It's kind of miffed a little bit, and is misplacing his rage. At times, it feels against me. But I mean, somebody has to lose, right? And it can't always be the other guy. That's something to keep in mind. We always gotta. Yeah, I think. Well, so his ice storm or his lightning bolt would be 3, so he can. All right, we'll see what he does. Will it be? Okay, just as bad. Just as bad. We still are no closer to closing this game out. Well, at the moment we kind of are, but not really. If we had another aspect, do we have 2 in this deck? I really should look at that. I mean, it doesn't matter. We either draw it or we don't. We could have 3 of them in the deck, and if we don't draw it, then it is completely irrelevant whether or not we carry it. So the only good news is we are going to get our opponent back down to 8, and we know that he's already gone through 2 of his Oreo cookie gals, at least.
What's yours is mine.
Unfortunately, the cards we're going to play here die to Ice Storm, so I'm going to play it just because I want to prompt our opponent to, if he doesn't have another way to remove the Bruma, he's going to have to play the Ice Storm just to get 3 points of potential damage off the board, unless he nukes it out of orbit or throws it down a guard. Obviously, these are all things that can happen. That's why I'm not playing Aspect of Overseeing, because I know as soon as I play that, if I play it as a 12-12, oh, please stay alive. Dag, nabbit. 2 points off of lethal. And we do have lightning bolts. We've played them before. We just... Oh, gosh, that's not good. If he got rid of a drain with that much health on the board, then he's found something really good. Oh. That could be a big deal. Nope. Not a big deal at the moment. I mean, it's close. It gets us one point close. Well, if it stays alive. And it does. Okay. Unfortunately, okay, he's going to plead to RNG, and the way the game day is going, I could see it being... Yep. Okay, well... Oh, yes, Grey Viper. Yes, oh... So we do Channel Stormers 3. I mean, I don't care. We got to do something, right? We got to make something happen. Does get us there. Oh my gosh, he gets a... Really? That's the card he's going to get back?
See how they like someone who fights back.
Ice Storm doesn't save him just yet. So we know 2 cards right now are not helpful. And now Ice Storm does help. And he can play Ice Storm and Golden Initiate.
May the ancestors bless.
Okay, he does not. Well, okay, he can play Iron and then... or he could play the Lightning Bolt. And there he goes. Okay. All right. This is... I mean, we're not circling the drain. We're kind of holding our own, but this is just maddening. And it all goes back to that stinking Golden Initiate Prophecy. And then he gets a freaking 5/5 back. Ooh! That... Let's go ahead and do this first.
The fighter's guild stands ever ready.
Still, he's holding on to that Ice Storm, so let's go ahead and we'll do this as well. Like I said, he's got to get rid of everything on the board or shut it down. Otherwise, we do get to smack him in the face with something. All we need is one thing to connect, and then we can close this out with our aspect. Yes. All right, so he's got 2 cards at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 cards. Does he have what he needs? And he's playing something he's held onto for a while, so he's going to try to yoink something from us. Unstoppable Rage would not get the job done, so we're not too worried about that at the moment. Javelin. Okay. What can you do? Oh, we could still do Ice Storm and clear the board.
Remember this day. Speak.
Okay, now he can't. What has he got? Oh, I think we did it. Okay.
This was a worthy
Wow.
contest.
There we go. All right. And folks, I think that is going to do it for us today. We have just been scraping. I think we got back to ground zero. We got back to where we were at the start. So not a feel-good moment, but I mean, because essentially we just did nothing. Well, other than make a killer video showing us pissing and moaning and taking it up the tailpipe. But that said, until next time, keep playing.